Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Hiya and MGF here on Fighting Spirit. Top left-hand corner is the blue Terran player, it is Hiya! And in the bottom left, it is the orange Zerg player, the enemy, it is MGF. I don't know who this player is, can't find him on the Smurf names list anywhere. So if you know who it is, let me know and I will update the title. Alright, so another TVZ here from Hiya. Let's see, I'm going to spoil this. Alright, so Hiya versus Savior. Hiya came out on top, which is not what I expected. But, dang, he is so very, very good at defending Mutalisk Harass, controlling Marines, controlling medics, and just macroing and denying third bases from Zerg, apparently. So, let's see how he does here on Fighting Spirit against MGF, 400 APM here. For MGF, he's very, very good at spamming, at least. We'll see if he can keep that up. And let's see here. 9 supply. I feel like this is going to be a 12 pool or a 12 hatch. We will wait and see if he's interested in a pool first here. And he's scouting the right way with his Overlord, so I think the Overlord will get there before he needs to make that decision. Alright, so 11 supply and 2 more drones, so it's not going to be a 12 anything at this point. SCV scouting, just checking. I'm not sure what he was checking for here. Maybe he was going to go for a command center first and then thought better of it and said, let's just go ahead and go barracks first here on the high ground. It's better safe than sorry at this point. And there we go. Okay, so that was actually a 12 hatch. 12 hatch play, so no aggression out here at this time. Overlord does scout in and does not see a command center. That should not be a reason to go away, though, my guy. Come on, come on, come back. Come back on in. Not doing it. All right, cool. You do what you want. I'm not going to tell you how to play this game. Ah, he's coming back. Excellent. He did listen to me. Thank you. Thank you, Overlord. And then there's your 12 pool. So, yeah, standard stuff here. I imagine I'm going to go for 2 base in play. Double gas, lurkers, or mutalisks, or sometimes both can be pretty viable, depending on how things go. If you're excited for this match, hit that like button for Falcon Paladin. Just helps me get more visibility in the YouTube algorithm, suggests my videos to other people, doesn't cost you a single thing, and it's just a nice thing to do. Alright, SCV coming on into the house and says, well, what's going on over here? That's definitely a hatch first timing, so thank goodness. It's not early Lings, although he could hold that. We've seen that before. You just get a couple SCVs on the ramp, get a couple Marines behind that, you get the body block, you get the DPS, and you hold off the Ling attack, no problem. So macro hatch on the way here from MGF to APM has dropped down to about 330, where it's gone up to 360 for Hiya. So that is how this works sometimes, is the higher spammer in the early game can't actually keep it up into the mid game. And the person who doesn't spam early can actually turn into a pretty darn effective APMer as we get into the mid game, as there's more stuff for them to actually do. They start increasing that action per minute thing. And then there's APM, which is effective actions per minute, where it's not just, it doesn't count the spam clicks, right? Did you select this hatch, these 2 hatches 87 times in a row? Doesn't count for effective APM. You have to be selecting units, making stuff, moving things, stuff that effectively has impact on the game in some way. Now you could probably fool it, as the scouting SCV does go down, by like right-clicking a drone all over the place, because that does count as effective APM. But I don't know. In general, EAPM is a pretty solid standard if you're trying to decide how good somebody is at the game of StarCraft. Anyway, what are we doing up here? Barracks, barracks. Ooh, 3 barracks opening. This is some very heavy bio play out of Hiya. He might try to push in here before the Zerg player knows, even to make a couple Sunkens. Yeah. He's setting up. He's setting up for something pretty scary here. Second gas taken already. Lair on the way from MGF. And the macro hatch is done, which I, again, really, really enjoy a good macro hatch. Overlord says, can we throw up third base over here? Can we get away with that? And the answer is yeah. There's really no blue presence out on the map whatsoever. Is he even getting an academy? Okay, it's got to be an academy up there, right? It's an academy hiding behind the production tab. Okay, we made it. So the Lings are going to come up and try to do something, but there is a whole bunch of bio here with more being produced all the time, 3 at a time here. It's not going to happen, is what I'm telling you. That's a pretty good wall. The Marines are sacrificing their bodies to make this happen. But there are enough Marines. This handful of, what, 2, 4, 6 Zerglings are not going to do anything. Not going to accomplish a thing here whatsoever. I'd really like to see MGF go for that third base, but he's going for a Spire, spending his resources as fast as he gets them, making additional Zerglings and making additional drones, especially 5 at a time. There for a second. Metabolic Boost finishing up and Stim getting started now from Hiya. So yeah, we're going to see a pretty standard bio opening here versus Ling Mutalisk. The Mutas are going to try to pick off Marines that are running around at the speed of sound. Really jumping in there is such a terrible, terrible idea. Scouting around, sure. Why don't you scout around, see what's what? Maybe die. Oh, jumps on in and does try to kill a couple Marines. I don't think he got any, though. I think that was a couple Zerglings dead, and that was it. This is a pretty scary attack. So let the Sunkens begin. Let the creep colonies begin. This is a lot of Marines. This is no tanks. This is all bio. This is 46 to 30 total supply. Early game Zerg is so hard. So hard sometimes against this sort of thing. But if you have the awareness and you have the scouting, you're going to be fine. When you die to this sort of thing is when you don't see it coming. You don't have the Overlord planted here. You don't have the Lings at the front. And then all of a sudden these are materializing out of the fog of war and you're dead because you don't have any Sunkens. But now, all right, good. We're looking at 3 Sunkens. 4 total Sunkens is pretty good. Again, this was a heavy commitment. A heavy commitment to bio. Oh, man, again, just losing some Lings there for nothing. MGF here, not really being super cost-effective with his units, losing Lings for effectively 0 damage to the Terran. Not what you want, but 9 Mutas in production is what you want. Where are your turrets? There's 1 turret on the way. Good. Where is it, though? Oh, right here. Okay, so turrets are under production. That's fine. Marines are out on the map. And again, I'm probably just going to see the Mutalisks try to pick off Marines at the edge of the group here. This is so much bio. I mean, when are we going to start seeing science vessels is my question. He doesn't even have a factory. This is such a strange strategy out of Hiya. So 3 turrets here, enough to dissuade a large number of Mutalisks to be careful about going in there at the very least. They've got an Overlord in their control group, so they can stack up like this. Additional Mutas, and here we go. He's going after. He can 3-shot a turret. That's pretty good. Can 3-shot a turret, and then the other one's down easy, and then the third one's down easy too. Well, what this does is gives the Marines enough time to react to this. Meanwhile, an attack into Sunkenville here. Sunken Colony Land is going pretty well for Hiya. Oh boy, it's only 1 Sunken. The Mutas have to engage at the periphery. They have to try to make something happen here because they are the only hope. There are 2 more Mutalisks in production. He doesn't like playing this game all that much because he will lose Mutalisks to get the other ones in the control group. I guess that's a full group. And you know what? It's working out here for MGF. He is losing a couple Mutalisks here and there, but he did kill a whole ton of the Marines. He kept his natural alive. He kept his drones alive, which is the bigger deal, although every one of these Sunkens was a drone at one point. And I'm not sure why Hiya keeps coming in here. MGF manages to clean it up. Now he's up 56 to 44 supply. That's massive. That's really good for him. That was an all-in. That was a 2-base all-in. All of the Marines and medics I can make attack. The Sunkens did their job. They delayed long enough for the Mutas to come out and clean it up. And now rebuilding the turrets. The Mutalisks are going to be really annoying at this stage as the Marine count not as high as it used to be, although it's pretty good. Again, 4 barracks will make a lot of those Marines. Science. Nope, Starport, right. Starport first. Factory already done. We're getting into the irradiates, but I'm not sure that we're quite there yet. I mean, obviously we're not, but some other players with different builds would have that going here at about the 10-minute mark. And again, the all-in did not work, and now the Zerg player is ahead. So we haven't seen a win by a Zerg on the channel in the last couple weeks, it feels like, for the Brood War side of things at least. It's really funny because Zergs are super great in StarCraft 2 right now, but in StarCraft 1, at least on my channel, the struggle is real, yo. Oh. So I had some people asking me to cast some games from older players like Yellow. And they're older replays, which means they don't work correctly inside the current version of the client, which is that whole thing where after a certain amount of time, they just stop building things and they pile up a ton of money and nothing happens and it's totally broken. So on bwreplays.com, it says if you get the older version of the executable and then load the replay using that, it actually works. The problem is I've been trying to do it, and it's throwing some errors about can't load DLLs or something, and it won't launch the client at all. So if anybody has any experience with that, please let me know. I'd like to be able to cast them onto replays, even if it's just in the regular Brood War client. Because some of those, that's all we're going to get. Some of these are just not going to load in Remastered, and that's totally fine. I still want to see them play. The old client is still pretty good, holds up. I went back and watched a couple of my old replays before Remastered came out. And visually, they hold up, man. StarCraft, Blizzard does art styles that hold up over time. And the way they do that, I mean, just as a quick aside, is they don't go for photorealism. All the games that try to go for photorealism in the 90s look dated as heck now. But the ones that went for more stylized art styles like this, they hold up. They really do hold up even 20 years later. At least in my opinion. Some people might disagree wholeheartedly, and I'm okay with that. All right, so third base popped. These drones might... Where are you guys... Oh, they're trying to go back home. Turn around! No! What is this? MGF, the drone control. The drone control non-existent is what it is. This is bait. You want to come up this ramp, you're not instantly going to die, but if you get up further, you're going to die. Mutalisks harassing around the natural. There are a full 10 of them here. They're just going to go ahead and bypass that turret and get right into this mineral line. This is really good game sense out of MGF, recognizing there's not actually any turrets back here at the main mineral line. They're a little bit trapped because these two turrets exist. He wants to go ahead and kill a couple more SCVs if possible. 35 to 36 workers now. And the 3 base to the 2 base. I gotta say, whoever this MGF is, he's playing really, really well. And he is, in fact, in the lead. He's got Lurker Tech. His Defiler Mound is coming in. Working, however, on Science Vessels. Those are on the way, too. That is your game-winning strategy in late game for Terran. Is having a million Science Vessels, irradiating all these Lurkers, irradiating these Mutalisks, irradiating drones, doing whatever the heck you can to irradiate the Zerg out of existence using radiation, because science. Science again. This drone control from MGF is abysmal. I like everything else he's doing, but this? What's he doing? Why does he keep running drones out here? He knows there's Marine. Maybe he doesn't know there's Marines, or he didn't until recently. He actually turned around this time, which is a bonus. He's got drones in the middle of the map doing nothing right now. Okay, the good news is Nidus Canal Tech is real. So you could not... Oh my gosh. Dude. Help your drones. Why are you going this way? I guess he's hiding them. Lurkers win the fight. Nicely done, Lurkers. Man, I don't know about attacking into 2 Lurkers with that few Marines. Okay, so the drones finally make the long journey down to the bottom right to this 3rd base, which should have happened a while ago. But MGF here just didn't take the time to get rid of this little ball of bio. Now a larger ball of bio is coming down this way. There is Science Vessel support. Did we see a Radiate come through on that production tab? I'm not sure we did, but we'll know sooner rather than later if an Irradiate comes on down. Mutalisks again, just kind of trying to... How are there 2 Mutalisks? What happened? He must have just flown into a ton of Marines at some point. Okay, Irradiate's done. Irradiate is ready to rock. Dark Swarm comes up. Lurkers burrowing in. The Scourge are on the way to deal with those Science Vessels as well as they can. As long as there aren't any Marines to thwart them in those efforts. A 4th base for MGF would be pretty fantastic here. It's a scary, scary bio ball, though. That's really terrifying. More Defilers in production. Lurkers trying to do a bit of a spread. And there are no tanks today at all. This is Marine Medic Science Vessel today, which is more of an Idra play. I see Idra do this in late game versus Zerg more than anybody else. Flash has won some games doing this in the past. But usually we start seeing some tanks at least augmenting this army, if not going into full mech as the game goes on. So we'll see how this works into the 15, 16, 18 minute mark. See what Hiya keeps rolling at us here. So that's a lot of Lurkers. Man, you do not want to attack us with this, but... Oh, he's dropping in the main. He's dropping in the main. Scourge get a hit on one of these drop ships, but I don't know what the priority here is exactly. So Sunkens and Zerglings trying to defend against this. Oh, the Fire Bats. Nice Plague, though. Oh my gosh, that's a disgustingly effective Plague. Look how good this is. I mean, some of these drones are going to die, but that went from like a everything dies to a couple of drones die scenario. That was one of the better Plagues I have ever seen in a TVZ. Wow. Nidus Canals, they're good units. 4th base done for MGF. 3rd base now landing from Hiya. Zerg player in a pretty great position. Down 119 to 82 supply, yes, but a lot of that supply is Marines, which don't trade well versus these lurkers and things that are, you know, getting dark swarmed and plagued all over the place. The tier 3 stuff is good against these Marines. You need more than that, and that's why he has the science vessels. So he's not just going Marine medic here. That would be abject suicide. But MGF throwing up a macro hatch down in the bottom right, making a creep for further drop prevention and drop mitigation here. Nice plague on 3 of the science vessels, irradiating some of these lurkers, but when you have like 8 of them, it doesn't hurt as much, right? Okay, 3 of them died. So, that hurts more. It hurts more. Okay, 139 to 86 supply. Hiya is just pumping bio out like there is no tomorrow. Running around at the speed of sound here in the middle of the map, left side of the map, top side is his too. Trying to decide what MGF's late game here is going to be. Well, running lings to their deaths is part 1, so that's not great. Hydras versus some of these science vessels. 3 of them have been plagued and are very ripe for the picking. Nice drop at the back here. A bunch of drones going down at the 4th base. Dropship does get plagued, but did manage to pick up 4 of her friends until the Scourge came and shut down that dream. Goodbye. SCV's looking at taking a 4th. Nope, say the Zerglings, you're not actually doing that. Let's deny that real fast. But just how much of the middle of the map here belongs to Hiya at this stage. Ultraless Cavern on the way. I was going to say, Ultra's pretty good in the situation where there's a ton of Marines because they do not do very well versus that armor. And Irradiate doesn't kill Ultras and in fact makes them do additional damage versus Marines when they're up in their face hitting them. So that's hilarious. So a bunch of Marines coming up to clear out the Zerglings in the top right-hand side of the map. Looks like Hiya wants to expand up here. The Marines are at 2-1, the Zerglings are at 1-1, and the Lurkers are at 0-1, with the 0 being armor. Wait, the 0 being attack? The 0 being attack. So this might just be a game where Hiya, there we go, he's got tanks in production now, or rather, some tanks on the field. He just has so many control groups of Marines running around all over the map. I don't know. This is some incredible map control here. This is map control without tanks. It's kind of weird, but cool nevertheless. The Zerglings have adrenal glands. Maybe. They got the 1-1, which is fine, but 2-2 finishing up here fairly shortly. Bit of a push in the natural. Dark Swarm Lurker, pretty good in this situation. Natural base has the same kind of defenses here. Why are you sending lings up this way? He's just not trading well with these lings. There has never been an engagement where the lings have been involved today where I felt like they got value out of it. Good plague. Holy smokes, that's a great plague. So this group is just about dead. I'm not sure that they know it, though. Medics are running out of energy rapidly. The Marine group still has jelly on them, so they still have effectively 0 HP. By 0, I mean 1. Nice denial of a base at the 6 o'clock from MFG. Hiya is just dominating right now. He really is. It's really just 2 Zerglings. They maybe could get in there. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess they tried it and 1 Marine died. 1 Marine died anyway. Kindness plating on the way. Plus 3 ground carapace. Plus 2 melee attack almost completing. Left side denial here too. Out of Hiya. So it'd be nicer if MFG had this 6 o'clock. Really should dedicate some units to doing it. More tanks being produced all the time, recognizing that Ultras are likely what the Zerg player is going to do. I'm not sure if he has scanned the Ultraless Cavern or not. A single Mutalisk is in the sky, or in production here, to deal with some of the science vessels that have been injured. But check this out. We're repairing the science vessels. Oh, Terran fans are super happy about that. Repairing science vessels that have been plagued. Hiya, conscientiously taking care of those spellcasters. I like it. I like it a lot. Hiya maybe deserves to win the game just for that. So many Terrans don't bother doing this at all. Look, these used to be several plague science vessels, and now there are 2. Woohoo! Excellent news. So 186 to 106 supply. It's just the Oh, he thought he could get those, but they've been repaired or perhaps never been played in the first place. Poor Mutalisk, he was fooled. He was fooled into believing something that wasn't true. So it was effectively a 4-base versus a 2-base Terran a few minutes ago, and suddenly Hiya is now 1, 2, 3, 4 bases with a 5th base. Okay, so 4 bases himself to 4 bases of the Zerg. Again, Zerglings trying to engage here, not going super well for them. Where are the Ultralisks? They're working on anabolic synthesis. Nice plague on a couple of the science vessels. Nothing godlike or anything, though. Nice irradiate on the Defiler, getting rid of that. Dude, how much gas do we have from MFG? About 300, which is not enough for very many Ultras, to tell you that much. Zerglings might actually win an engagement for the first time today. See the surround action? That's your key. If you have Zerglings, go for the surround. Frontal assaults aren't super good. Oh boy. Here we go. Lings defending. Get back in the Dark Swarm. Irradiate on these lurkers. That science vessel might just add a regular old spore colony hits. Maybe. Oh, if it comes back in for another few, oh, it does go down. It got, wow, every one of the bits of damage that went on that science vessel was from that spore. Incredible stuff. Now, the Zerglings of the South, they were so happy in their victory, and now that is over. 3-2 Marines. Pretty scary with their stim. 2-2 Zerglings, not bad. Again, all the upgrades for Ultras, I haven't seen any on the field yet, though. Zerglings just... Okay, the number of Zerglings that have died in this game alone is enough to make a grown Zerg player cry. I mean, just look how much blue. Look how much blue there is on this map. The orange is concentrated in tiny little corners. The blue has map control. The blue is expanding again. Hiya killing it. Good Scourge hit, but I mean, eh. Oh, a Plague Dark Swarm Zergling attack. That's some interesting stuff. Where are the Defilers going? Stay there, please. Is he out of Zerglings? He's out of Zerglings in that Dark Swarm. Oh, these guys are up top, though. That's not bad. It's not terrible at all. I keep thinking this is a drop of some kind, but it's just a science facility. So, okay. Base kill, sort of. The SCVs largely escaped and just came to this new base in the top right. This really just feels like a Hiya win. I mean, if there were 15 Ultras in production right now, I'd feel different about it from MGF, but he just got out macroed. He did all of the right things, but this is a game-ending style push. Defiler needs to throw something down. Doesn't have the energy for it, though. He's out. He's out. He has left the building. Yeah, man. Okay, 1 Ultralisk in production. Scourge trying to get hits on stuff, not working out for them at all. The tanks have no upgrades because all the upgrades have definitely been concentrated on our bio down on the ground. Here we go. 3 Ultralisks. Nice Plague. Good Dark Swarm. Okay, this is how you start to come back, is with this sort of an engagement. But there are so many science vessels. Your Ultras are going to be irradiated. They will spend most of the rest of their lives with radiation coming off of them. And that's just not a great feeling. It's not a great feeling. Okay, so Zerglings denied the 12 o'clock, but their 6 o'clock is still being denied by 5 Marines, and that's it, which is kind of embarrassing. And yeah, this MGF guy, APM, has dropped down to 230. Started so promisingly at a 400 APM level. Couldn't quite keep it rolling, though. He's doing the right things. He just doesn't have the supply to make it work. He doesn't have the 15 Ultralisks to be produced in this situation. And even then, I mean, there are enough science vessels, I think, to irradiate 15 Ultralisks, so it's an obstacle. Tries to break out the front. No. Says Hiya. I don't have a lot of tanks. They don't have great upgrades, but they're still pretty good against Zerglings. And 1 Ultra ganged up by 15 Marines after they've been irradiated. Yeah. So this is a Hiya win. I'm looking at this. 191 to 86 supply, doubling it up. I thought maybe MGF here was a player we'd heard of just running with a really obscure Smurf name, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. He's good. He just doesn't have the macro needed. He took too long to tech up. He couldn't keep up with Hiya's ridiculous levels of macro today. He's going to lose his 4th. He's going to lose his 3rd. The irradiated Ultralisk attacking his own sunken colony for reasons unknown there. Every Ultra that pops out of that Nidus is getting irradiated. There is no air superiority at all Oh, we're doing the boxer maneuver here. Goodbye all the things. Goodbye all the Zerglings up top. Trying to go for a backside attack a little bit. Maybe trying to win this, but no! MGF taps out in 25 minutes, and Hiya. Really, really wonderful play. Woo! From Hiya here. He all-in got held. That's what gets me. The all-in got held, and yet he was still able to just dominate. His third base was late, and yet he was still able to dominate. So MGF was not able to take advantage. He should have expanded to the 5th base sooner than he did. Having a 5-base economy, especially with that extra gas, would have been nice. Getting Ultralisk Cavern up earlier, really nice there too. And then just he needed to send enough units to handle the engagements he was getting into. That is one of the things you got to do in StarCraft, is if you're going to go attack somebody, as a Zerg player especially, you have the speed advantage. You can flee. You can also choose to close and engage. If you choose to close and engage, you better win, especially out here in the open where there's no reason to engage if you don't have to. If you're defending, sure. Sometimes you have to defend with maybe not enough and you're not sure about it, but there were just too many times he was going out on aggressive plays with Zerglings and just losing lings for absolutely nothing. And I think over time that was just too much. Wasn't macroing well enough and not making good decisions there. 152,000 points for Hiya, 128 for MGF. Produced 600 Zerg units, a lot of Zerglings there. Ended up killing only 170 or so, which is not enough for them. That's a lot of dead Zerglings accomplishing 0 things. And then end of the day here, it's just it's cost effectiveness from Hiya. He didn't even go mech. We usually don't see these kind of numbers where it's out gas mined, out minerals mined, and out total spent by significant numbers from the Zerg, and the Terran still wins it handily. That is just outclassing. Outclassing, but good ZVT anyway. I mean, I know I don't watch these in advance, but kind of feels like I gotta find a good Zerg win for you guys, because this hurts. This hurts right now. All right, that's going to be it for me today, though. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw and what you heard today, you can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.